that could make my life probably easier if I had some techie. Oh, see? See what I mean? Oh my. This setup, it's not working, but it's gonna work because everything always kind of works just the way it's supposed to. You know, at least I can take people into this wonky journey with me, right? There we go. This is gonna stay. So, maybe that's all I meant to say today. So, I love this. You know that song? It feels like pina coladas. Anyways. I've been doing a lot of spiritual seeking in the last couple of weeks. Well, I'm spiritual seeking every moment. But I've gone even deeper, and I'm being led to new masters like Bodhidharma and learning about, even though he was 1,000 years after Buddha, and totally polar opposite, he was a master of his own, even though he followed a lot of the same energetic fields or thoughts. Well, there is no thoughts when you really go past no mind, but that's another level, so we won't go there. That Buddha did. Yet he made everything his own. Because once a master has come, it's done. We are all meant to be birthed and born our own gods. The thing is, we are so blocked from our truths and ourselves, from mind, society, programming, traumas, you name it. So we aren't able to build the energetic fields of what it was that we were born to be, which is thy inner God, like we are when we're a child at our purest, having halos around the head like all the gods, connected to a source. So this time in silence and space by myself has been really incredible, and amazing things have been happening. And I have been able now to go beyond being the watcher. It's like the watching and the watcher become one. So it's like you basically just dissipate into the abyss of nothingness, because there is no separation from the watcher and the watched. Who's watching? So that has been a very profound experience as well, that I've been having glimpses and glitters into. Okay, I think today, I don't think that's just a programmed word in my mind. See, able to catch it though, awareness. Lemon water. Very healthy for the being. I'm gonna pull a card before I get into whatever it is I get into today, because nothing in life is ever meant to be planned. Meant to be spontaneous, living in the present moment, no future, no past, and just loving thyself and the universe immensely. A couple months ago, I started this new thing where, well, it's longer than a couple months ago, I think it's since childhood, but it came and went, but I started really focusing my energy, and I really started focusing on my thought. And now I am able to not control, but because I've become a master of my thoughts, I can almost see them, watch them like a movie and let them go, or I'm able to reprogram them, which opens up new experiences, new dimensions, new energetic fields. And there was this interesting thing that I read in this novel this week from an old ancient master who said thoughts are the most, it's not going to be this universe of pollution and this and that that's going to kill the universe. It's going to be the thoughts. Thoughts are the sickest thing. Like I said before, there was a story that my father told me that there was a king that said at the end of the story to his people, put a thought in my head and I'll kill you. So thoughts are so powerful because they are living. So even by just having a thought and sending it out, you're not only, it may not happen for you or you may not experience it, but thought waves travel. And that's why when you hear crazy stories, sometimes they'll be like, I don't even know why I did it. Something just happened. Because we are a collective consciousness and thoughts travel. And all these negative thoughts in the universe are going to be the sicknesses of the things that kill us first and foremost before any virus or this or that. It's the thoughts we're creating. This is the sickness of mankind. So if you can become a watcher of your thoughts, and then if you can begin to catch your thoughts, and you're not forcing them to the opposite of, oh, so positive in this, because duality needs center. So just to become non-reactive to them. And when they come, to catch them and be like, okay, body needs to reset its thoughts and its being because this thought keeps coming up. What is it serving me? Why is it here? Where did it begin? How does it make me feel? Why am I sending this out into existence? Thoughts are poison and they live. Control your mind. Get to have an uncontrollable destiny. It's not even a control of the typical sort. It's more of a mastery because you don't want control of it. Something more intelligent runs this system than us. 57 in intelligence. And intelligence runs this system. We are born to be blissful. It is our birthright. But people are so foolish. They don't even claim their birthright. They become more interested in what others possess, and they start running after those things. They never look within. They never ever search their own house. The intelligent person will begin his search from his inner being. That will be his first exploration. Because unless I know what is within me, how can I go searching all over the world? It is such a vast world. And those who have looked within have found it instantly, immediately. It is not a question of gradual progress. It is a sudden phenomenon, a sudden enlightenment. I have heard about a very great Sufi mystic woman, Rabia. One evening, people found her sitting on the road searching for something. And she was an old woman. Her eyes were weak, and it was difficult for her to see. So the neighbors came to help. They asked, "What are you searching for?" And Rabia said, "That question is irrelevant. I am searching. If you can help me, help." They laughed and said, "Rabia, have you gone mad? You say our question is irrelevant. But if we don't know what you are searching for, how can we help?" Rabia said, okay, just to satisfy you, I'm searching for my needle. I have lost my needle. They started helping her, but immediately they became aware of the fact that the road was very big and a needle was a very tiny thing. So they asked Rabia, please tell us where you lost it, the exact precise place. Otherwise it's difficult. The road is big and we can go on searching and searching forever. And where did you lose it? Rabia said, again you ask an irrelevant question. How is this concerned with my search? They stopped and they said, you have certainly gone crazy. Rabia said, okay, just to satisfy you, I have lost it in my house. They asked then, why are you searching here? And Rabia is reported to have said, because here there is light, and inside there is no light. The sun was setting and there was a little light still left on the road. This parable is very significant. Have you ever asked yourself what you are searching for? Have you ever made it a point of deep meditation to know what you are searching for? No. Even in some vague moments, dreaming moments, you have some inkling of what you are searching for. It is never precise. It is never exact. You have not defined it yet. If you try to define it, the more it becomes defined, the more you will feel that there is no need to search for it. The search can continue only in a state of vagueness, in a state of dreaming. When things are not clear, you simply go on searching. Pulled by some inner urge, pushed by some inner urgency. One thing you do know, you need to search. This is an inner need, but you don't know what you are seeking. And unless you know what you are seeking, how can you find it? It is vague. You think it's in money and power, prestige, respectability. But then you see people who are respectful, powerful, also seeking. Then you see people who are tremendously rich. They are also seeking. To the very end of their life, they are seeking. So richness is not going to help. Power is not going to help. The search continues in spite of what you have. The search must be for something else. These names, these labels, money, power, prestige. They just satisfy your mind. They're just there to help you feel like you are searching for something. That something is still undefined, a very vague feeling. The first thing for the seeker who has become a little alert, aware, is to define the search. To formulate a clear-cut concept of it, what it is. To bring it out of the dreaming consciousness. To look at it directly. To face it. Immediately a transformation starts happening. If you start defining your search, you will start losing your interest in the search. The more defined it becomes, the less it is there. Once it is clearly known what it is, suddenly it disappears. It only exists when you are not attentive. Let it be repeated. The search exists only when you are sleepy. The search exists only when you are not aware. The unawareness creates the search. Yes, Rabia is right. Inside there is no light. And because there is no light and no consciousness inside, of course you go on searching outside, because outside seems more clear. Our senses are extroverted. The eyes open outwards. The hands move, spread outwards. The legs move into the outside. The ears listen to the outside noises and sound. Whatsoever is available to you is the opening towards the outside. All of the five senses move in an extrovert way. You start searching there where you see, feel, and touch. The light of the senses falls outside. And the seeker is inside. This dichotomy has to be understood. The seeker is inside, but because the light is outside, the seeker starts moving in ambitious ways, trying to find something outside which will be fulfilling. It's never gonna happen. It has never happened. It cannot happen in the nature of things, because unless you have sought the seeker, all your search is meaningless. Unless you come to know who you are, all that you seek is futile, because you don't know the seeker. Without knowing the seeker, how can you move in the right dimension, in the right direction? It is impossible. The first thing should be considered first. If all seeking had stopped, and you have suddenly become aware that now there's only one thing to know: who is this seeker in me? What is this energy that wants to seek? Who am I? Then there's a transformation. All values change suddenly. You start moving inwards. Then Rabia is no longer sitting on the road searching for the needle that is lost somewhere in the darkness of one's own inner soul. Once you have started moving inwards, in the beginning it is very dark. Rabia is right. It is very, very dark. Because for lives together, you have never been inside. Your eyes have been focused on the outside world. Have you ever watched it? Sometimes you come in from the road where it's very sunny and there is a bright light. When you suddenly come into the house, it's very dark because the eyes are focused for the outside light. When there is much light, the pupils of the eyes shrink. In darkness, the eyes have to relax. But if you sit a little while, by and by the darkness disappears. There is more light. Your eyes are settling. For many lives you have been outside in the hot sun in the world. So when you go in, you have completely forgotten how to readjust your eyes. Meditation is nothing but a readjustment of your vision, of your eyes. And if you go on looking inside, it takes time. But gradually and slowly, you start feeling a beautiful light inside. And it's not an aggressive light. It's not like the sun. It's more like the moon. It's not glaring and it's not dazzling. It's not cool. And it's not hot. It's very compassionate. It's very soothing. like a bomb. By and by, when you have adjusted to the outside light, you will see that you are the very source. The seeker is sought. Then you will see that the treasure is within you. And the whole problem was that you were seeking for it outside. You were seeking it somewhere outside, and it's always been within you. You are seeking in the wrong direction. That's all. I think we should let my frogs have some, bring some of that gorgeous noise before we start. I love these guys, they're great. What a beautiful, beautiful message. As soon as we're born into a program or a system or ideologies that make us look for all of these things outside of us. As children, when we're full of wonder, we aren't seeking anything because we're sought within. So we're so present and connected to the moment, so meditative that this inner light just glows. And as we grow and as life goes on, layers of the onion start to come on. And we block ourselves from this inner light. And we're told that it exists outside in the outside world. But we see those that have the most are usually the sickest. But yet we go on chasing, attaining, labeling, desiring, creating more and more inner sickness and outer sickness. If you want to find the universe, you have to go within. Our birthright is to know thyself. And the only way one can get to know thyself and peel away the layers of darkness to light. Because like Martin Luther King says, hate cannot drive out hate. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only love can drive out hate, and only light can drive out darkness. For so many birth times, like they said, we've been filled with this inner darkness. Too scared to do the work inside. Too scared to face ourselves. Living in a world that controls one to constantly be looking for things outside. Since the beginning of time, like I was reading some interesting thing, these great mystics that have come to the universe, the ones that have actually really changed the world, because consciousness is the only thing that's changed our world since the beginning of time. It's not this Genghis Khan or this Confucius or this Hitler or any of these types of people. It's people who brought consciousness, enlightenment. And since the beginning of time, we never write about them, or they have been forbidden, or they're kept in the dark. And it's very interesting because if we were actually existing in a universe that based our inner value and being and purpose of life was to know thyself, it would be a totally different universe. There's a reason why a Buddha gave up being a king and all the riches of riches to become a beggar, to know thyself. And it has nothing to do with not being abundant or financially abundant or all of these types of things, because once you have the universe anyways, you're abundant in all forms anyways, without being attached to it. Sitting alone in silence and meditation and breath is what connects us back to our inner God. You know, sometimes when I hypnotize people, I do these past life regressions or things like this. And I do a scanning of their body before we put it in light, before we go through an experience. I can literally even see too, like I can feel myself, the tension before I just relax, of when I focus the energy on the relaxation of like the jaw and the eyes and all these things, I can almost instantaneously take myself to readjust and I'm holding, you know, because I am aware and alert and conscious in my body. And hypnosis is just like an induced state of relaxation. So I hypnotize myself a lot too, self-hypnosis, into this really relaxed state of being. Because one needs to know how to be able to go into the subconscious, to hypnotize thyself, to take self to that energetic level. Because otherwise you'll be taken with the outside world. And the whole thing is, a lot of things that I'm working on right now too is not labeling feelings or emotions, staying neutral to everything and seeing how it goes. Because I am a very energetic being that loves to express emotions, but I'm just seeing, it's not having feelings. I don't get attached to results. So I have no results. People say to me when I do things, oh, did you like this? Was this? I just do it when it's done, it's done. You know, I don't watch it after. I don't need it. My energetic field will tell me if something is done or if I need to redo it or if I need to watch something. I don't have results. I trust in the universe. There's this higher consciousness, this higher energy that runs the universe. And all I have to do is be creative and sit in my being and focus my energy. And the universe will just open up all these doors like a domino effect. I just have to relax. Mastering my thoughts, breathing in my body, connecting to the space of more no mind, where there's no thoughts at all. Meditation, love, joy, laughter, bliss, compassion, healing, surrendering. Okay.